can't believe we missed it.
You're supposed to be paying attention, dude. I give you one job. You say, we're going to do this on time, mate. We're going to do this on time. And you didn't pay attention, did you?
Sorry.
Well, no, according to my clock, we're still a minute early.
Well, according to Phoebe...
Matt, we're a minute early.
Oh, well.
Minute early. Fuck, where's the light? Oh, you can't. There, minute early. Fucking, the world has just exploded. Rad Nerds is on time.
No, it's on time. And for some reason, we've now got videos come through to YouTube, which the last week, it was an error.
Oh, excellent. Have you had an update?
No.
You were on Ubuntu last time, weren't you?
Yeah.
Right.
Operating system.
That's the operating system, folks.
Yeah. Welcome to our top operating systems. This week, we'll mostly be using Ubuntu.
This week I'll be mostly eating.
Yeah. This week, I've moved away from Kali Linux and now on Ubuntu.
I'm doing all my pen testing on Ubuntu.
No, I sit with Kali Linux for that. But you look a bit less suspicious if you've got Ubuntu on your computer.
Yeah, people are like, oh, he's just a nub. Don't worry, isn't he using Ubuntu? Yeah. What's he using? Ubuntu. No. Yeah, you secretly got a VM there with Kali.
Using one of those default installs of Linux. I use some obscure version of Linux that there's nothing works on. There's no drivers available. I have to code them myself.
Gentoo and Arch.
Yeah.
I use Arch, so don't use that.
Oh, you want 256 colours? Oh, well, I've got to code that one myself. I didn't think to bother me.
Oh my god. Window manager.
Yeah, what's that?
Or display manager.
Yeah. What do
you mean you want a graphics user interface? What do you mean?
What do you mean you want it coming out you in assembly? You've got to write all in assembly. I mean, you're lucky. I mean, when I grew up, we used to use machine code, and you get a little assembly on there.
It's like learn, pleb.
Learn. I can't use poses these days. Don't even use a proper language like assembly.
Scrubs.
Yeah.
There we go.
Right. Can anybody on the TheSuffolkRam?
Guys, just Jesus Christ, dude. The last podcast, there was 30 minutes of rambling before we even said that.
It was there?
Yeah. I didn't cut it out.
What I think was to come to tune in for.
The podcast would have only been about 15 minutes if I'd have cut out most of the waffle.
That's the thing we could do. We could have set up like little game house where people can place bets on when we're going to say it.
Actually say it.
Whoever gets to the nearest minute wins a prize.
Yeah, they get unlimited respect.
That's that's
a hell of a stretch.
I ain't got much respect to give out.
No, me either.
No.
They get a pat on the back.
They get an exclusive 1 minute conversation with us prior to the podcast. Well, you can't use. Can you get Skype on Linux?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We'll Skype them. They can speak to us for a whole minute before the podcast starts.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You're standing on your phone.
Am I? So it's an iPhone. It's robust.
It's robust. It's like shattered.
Look, honestly, the things this iPhone has been through, I don't think Apple designed this. The parameters that Apple designed this phone with.
No, dude, just imagine going through the testing line and there's like pig pens and they're just like the Apple engineers. The guy in the white jacket is just like throwing the phone into a pig pen.
You know, it's like at the end of Foxconn, they walk down. There's just a line of, as you say, they drop all the phones in, and after an hour they go pick them up.
No, it's because they've gone down the assembly line. And then they walk through one door, and there is just literally a pig pen. Like that is the next part of the factory.
It's like Chinese child, pig pen, Chinese child.
I knew that we were doing a lot of things in this factory, but pigs, you know.
Yeah, you'd be surprised. The pig market is very, very. Pig farmer market is a big thing for us.
And they're handy to clean up the disgruntled workers.
Exactly. Yes. We don't have to feed. We don't have to buy a bag of feed for the last 6 years.
We went there.
Yeah.
Dark. I am proud of you, mate. That is something people expect me to say. That good job.
Yeah. Well, they demand a raise. They want to go from 1 cent to 2 cents a day.
How the hell we can't afford that?
No,
we can't make iPhones and still afford that.
I mean, Apple's only a little company. They can't afford this sort of stuff. They can't afford to pay those prices.
I mean, Jesus Christ, they're not. I'm trying to think of an equally small company that could never.
Disney.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, but everyone thinks that Disney's really big.
Actually, Disney's tiny.
Did we mention the Winnie the Pooh thing?
Yes, we did.
No, but we did it on. Was it the last podcast? The podcast before that it was gone. However, you found out since
you can still buy the merchandise.
Yep.
So the money part is still there.
The market, the store page,
the bit where the money comes in, that still exists, but. They're going to be saying, let's buy Winnie the Pooh. What's Winnie the Pooh? I have no idea. I can't find Disney's page on it anymore.
However, if I'd like to buy a Winnie the Pooh fucking snuggle, you can get one of those.
I wonder where you're going to go with that for a second.
Well, if I want to get a Winnie the Pooh cock ring, Winnie the Pooh dildo, Winnie the Pooh bra,
Well,
Winnie the Pooh table set.
Apple turnover 2.2. See, they're tiny. They turn over 258.5 billion USD. Okay.
Barely anything compared to what we do.
I know, we don't turn over anything.
Hey,
now, just to give you an idea, in comparison to Disney, Disney turned over 59 billion. So Apple could buy Disney out more than 6 times. And people think Disney's a big company. They're not. They're tiny. Amazon are bigger than Disney.
That actually doesn't surprise me, though.
But
What do Amazon pull in?
232. But Microsoft is twice as big as them. Microsoft's 125.
Oh.
Samsung 211. It's amazing how small a company Disney is.
Stupid Disney and your hatred of Winnie the Pooh.
Yeah, people sort of going about, don't mess the mouse, but actual fact, yes, do mess the mouse because he's titchy.
Yeah. Could you imagine that? Going to 4chan, there's all these memes of Mickey the Mouse in like mouse traps and shit. Poisoned. Darth Vader's poisoned him.
Yeah. No, Darth Vader look after him, Duff.
Yeah. You
It's
ruined
dark
it, Disney.
side. Anyway,
Games
we've been playing.
Nothing.
Well, we have. We played
No.
a game.
What you mean for the Halloween?
Halloween.
The late Halloween stream.
The Halloween stream.
That was Outlast on Nintendo Switch.
It was my first proper Switch game.
Aye. What do you think? I mean, how do you think like play style or controls and stuff?
Well, the controller was fine. The controls were terrible.
I agree.
They made some bizarre decisions about controls.
The layout of the controls are fucking stupid.
Weird.
Did they have anything on the clicks on the sticks?
No.
Because, like, for example, normally sprint would be click on the stick, wouldn't it? Or something like that.
I don't know. I know I'm used to playing games where left click was usually crouch.
Right.
And it didn't do that. It was, I can't remember which button was the crouch, but it was weird. And I kept pressing the B button, the one on the right hand side.
No, B button's down, A button's on the...
A. I kept pressing... You had to press the A button, but I'm used to playing on PlayStation where X is usually accept.
Yeah.
So I kept pressing the B button, and I was like, cancel.
Yeah.
I'll get very frustrated. But, yeah, we played Outlast. Survival horror. Basically, story is you're a journalist, you go to a mental asylum called Mount Massive Asylum. Right.
Grade A writing right there.
Honest to God, it did feel like whatever first idea they came up with went to the whiteboard. That was it.
So they'd come up with like all the not like development names, but you know what I mean, like all the potential projects. Like, we need to come up with something. They come up with that random name, so they just spitball. This is the placeholder name.
Yeah, it's on a big mountain. It's a massive mountain. Ooh, you're onto something there.
I like that.
What could we call it? It's a massive mountain. Massive mountain. What could we call it? Mount Massive. Oh, I like that.
Brilliant.
Right,
Give that man a raise.
What should we call it? And it's an asylum. Mount Massive Asylum. Right, guys. Time for coffee. We've had it now. I think that's been a very productive 10-minute meeting we had this morning.
Weren't we supposed to, spitball other names off that? It's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. This is perfect.
No, yeah, it's perfect.
It describes the place perfectly. It is an asylum on
a massive mountain. Jeff, what are you seeing the problem here? What's your problem, Jeff?
You're fired, Jeff.
You're not a team player.
Yeah, what you got against us, Jeff?
Why don't you like Mount Massive Asylum, Jeff? What's your issue with it?
That
was my idea. Why do you not like it? I'm the CEO. Why do you not like it? What's your problem?
You and your children
Jeff?
are now on the street.
I think Mount Massive is a lovely idea. Good boy, Jeff.
Do you want to go back to the mailroom, Jeff?
Yeah, so you're at Mount Massive Asylum, and you go in alone. You're going to a mental asylum to do undercover work. Just going to waltz in there.
Let's just put it this way: there was a lot of Humvees outside the goddamn place.
There's
There's
armoured Humvees. And you just get there, think the doors are all locked, the Humvee's armoured. Most of us go, perhaps I'll go home. Now I want to climb some rickety scaffolding and climb in and go, oh, there's blood on the floor. Perhaps I should go home.
Bollocks, let's keep going.
Let's keep going. Oh, look, some really nasty mutilated bodies here. No, let's just keep going.
Sod it.
Next thing you know, you're thrown through a window and you're on the floor in the lobby.
Was that the point of no return then?
Yes, I think
Because there was like
so.
because there is supposed to be a point of no return, which is why the character has to keep going deeper into the asylum, which seems like someone's just Control CV'd some pre-made rooms and stuck them together, and because that doesn't really make a whole hell of a lot of sense.
No, it doesn't feel like a place.
But yeah, I was like, why haven't we just turned back and left? Because this is bollocks.
Yeah, as a survival horror game, it works relatively well. It's quite fluid. I quite like the animations are quite fluid. They're quite
they're
nice. Little things like when you get close to a wall, he'll put his hands on the wall and you can sort of lean out and so forth. It's got some nice animations, but yeah, I felt it had a lot of problems.
Yeah.
The writing is all now the story, because I think you were reading it while we were playing it. I went home that evening and looked up.
The lore is I think it's really interesting.
It is interesting.
The delivery in game though is
terrible. Yeah, it is they've literally gone down the route of it's a very B movie game.
Yeah.
Every sort of trope you can think from a B movie in a horror game, say an asylum, is there. And they don't hide the fact, it's just they take it all sort of seriously as well. It doesn't really work. And the storyline that they deliver to you is very terrible. The story, because after I played it, the storyline that I was getting compared to what you were reading was very different.
Yes.
And so it was only after reading in depth actually on the various tropes and wiki pages, think, so that's what actually happened. So poorly delivered.
Really poorly delivered.
Very poorly delivered. It's just the usual. It's just so cliched about it. Everything.
The thing is, we understand it was a budgety game, wasn't it? Made by a couple of ex-EA and Ubisoft employees.
Yeah, I think it was all Ubisoft employees. Wasn't that? It was a not a tiny team, but wasn't like it was a big indie team.
Yeah. The presentation of it matched something like what was that boat game we played in the 24 Hours again?
Return of the Obra Dinn.
Right. Obra Dinn looked shitty. Like, when you first launched it looked like someone was like, like text boxes would come up or boxes would come up, and it was like this random, like, bitmap image or a JPEG of some crappy text or whatever. And you're like, this ain't going to go well. But as soon as you got into the game, it had a hook. It had a really solid hook. But Outlast didn't have that. It looked budget.
Yeah.
But, and like, even the text that came up on screen, you're like, it looked really bad.
It wasn't particularly. I mean, it's budget, but it wasn't low budget.
No, for sure.
The character models are quite nice.
Yeah, but it didn't really have a hook. It didn't have a hook. There was nothing that made you go, oh wow, right off the bat. I mean, because you straight away were like, wait, I have to have the night vision turned on my camera right now to be able to get through this room. This is right at the start, and I'm instantly draining batteries.
Yeah, so the camera mechanics. So the idea is it's survival in the sense that you can't, like Amnesia,
you can't attack enemies.
You can't attack anything. You can only hide from them and escape them. But you have night vision in the form of a night vision camera as a night vision mode.
Yeah,
and you get bonus points for like recording the right things. You unlock things and get achievements for recording the right bits for your camera.
Which I don't think we ever did.
We did a few.
Oh,
we did have a few pop up. I saw a few things pop up. But yeah, the night vision mechanic runs on batteries, but the batteries go so quickly.
I mean, literally, you just look at it and it goes.
I mean, to be fair, but where we got about halfway through roughly. We had more we had about 6 out of 10 possible batteries, so we're obviously making a profit on the batteries.
Yeah.
Fine, but it's just
sometimes it felt like the mechanic was really forced.
Yeah, well, there are some bits where you have to use the camera. You have to use the camera in the dark because you can't see anything. And that's fine, but if you were out batteries, you're pretty screwed.
Yeah, you'd be insta-bone there. There would be no way you could progress at that point.
Well, through just blind luck.
Yeah.
Because there are bits where like you couldn't...
Well, imagine some of the pitch black rooms, the pitch dark rooms, where you'd have to avoid enemies. You wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah, there's no
Surely you couldn't do it without having the camera.
No. I mean, the camera effects are quite nice because little things like the enemy's eyes glow, which they do on infrared cameras. Eyes do glow on infrared cameras.
Yep.
Actually, I mean, watch an episode of Most Haunted, you'll see that all the time. So it's, there are some nice little details that the camera's got a record time on it, which is consistent. So you can actually see how long you've had the camera up for, which I would say for us is probably about a quarter of the game.
Yeah.
I think we played about 4 hours, and the camera's like over an hour when we finish. So yeah, about a quarter of the game. It's just several design decisions about the fact the controls just were weird.
Yep.
You
found that sometimes you were like having to like double, triple tap the buttons to actually get the character to, because some of the actions were context sensitive. So like having to jump over boxes or whatever, you would hit the jump button and nothing would happen, and you'd have to be at just the right angle.
Yeah.
So let's say you're trying to escape an enemy, Ram's running at like this desk or something like that he's going to try and jump over. And he hits the button as he's right on top of the desk, but the character doesn't do anything. So he stood there just mashing the button until eventually...
just slightly wrong bounding box somewhere and hadn't picked it up. And little things like the camera's got a zoom function on it, which is on up or down, but down also brings up your notebook.
Yeah.
So sometimes you'll zoom out, sometimes you'll just bring the notebook up.
What was the button that kept on bringing up the objective menu? Because you hit that a hell of a lot.
I think that might be B.
Oh, right, sure.
Which is, of course, I'm used to being the... that button, I'm used to that being okay, so I kept pushing.
See, on the Xbox, that would have been okay as well, but on Nintendo, that is one problem a lot of people have when they go between Nintendo and Xbox, because those two buttons are flipped. A and B are flipped. So on an Xbox, it goes bottom button is A, right button is B. That's B and A, respectively, on Nintendo. That really throws people. I mean, it does it to me all the time. Every time I swap between the two, it's like, I'm going to press OK. Nope, I've just pressed cancel.
You think that the game developers would swap those round, do just to make it consistent?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just little weird things, and I just felt that the presentation of it wasn't that.
It was subpar.
Yeah, if you didn't have someone explain it to you, actually, what they needed was an NPC to explain it to you. What was going to like bring things together. So. My go-to survival horror stealthy game, the one if you're going to play one, the one I recommend people play is Soma. Into my followed by Alien Isolation, which is a little bit more actiony, but it's still mainly stealthy.
Yeah.
Soma and Alien Isolation, they are probably the two of the best examples of a stealth game, a horror game. Soma is still I think one of the best games. I think it was my game of the year a few years ago.
You
it was brilliant.
Sang its praises.
Yeah, I still do sing its praise. It's still one of the most memorable games I've played, and I still follow the Reddit for Soma because I just watch other people play. As people play it, they go on the Reddit and go, "My God, this is amazing!" I watch it. I think it's a criminally underrated game actually because it doesn't get anywhere near the praise it should do. Really.
It's still quite expensive though.
Yeah, well.
But
we look it up on Switch.
Yeah.
You know Switch games. But that's a game, and what Soma does is fairly early on you come across an NPC. Without spoiling it too much, the NPC is there, but they're with you all the time, but you can only talk to them at certain points. And you'll know what I mean if you play it. You'll know if you've played the game, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll understand why. That NPC is basically just a bit because the NPC you're set on this ancient. You're on this underwater base. The NPC works on that base. They know what's going on, but you don't. You find yourself on there for some reason. You're not sure how it happened. You end up on there. She talks you through what's going on, not explicitly, but she's enough to get you an idea of what's sort of explaining. She sort of brings it down to you. That little character is enough to tie it all together. So the information you're finding, she gives it context.
Yeah.
But there's no one to do that in Outlast. There's no one to give it context. So you come across these reports and so forth. And again, the reports are just so cliche.
Yeah.
Oh, this patient, we administered this stuff to him. Oh, and next thing you know, he's eating his hand off. It's like, well, come on. It's just it's all so cliche.
They were giving you like important details about the characters. And then we found that like in some cases, it took hours for us to actually go, oh, hang on, it's that character.
Yeah.
Like that's who they're talking about. It's
yeah.
Like, oh.
You learn the sort of main bad enemy who pursues you throughout the entire game. You learn about who he is right early on, but we didn't
at the start.
We didn't trig until the first time he caught me. It's when I trigged because it gives you he gives a description of what looks like, and then when you actually caught up close, you first time you see him is basically when you're being caught, and he sees you and so forth, and you get away. But yeah, just there's lack of context, and also you do come across NPCs.
that do nothing.
But you can't interact apart from occasionally give you a jump scare.
Yeah.
But you can't. So you'll come up. There's early on. You come across a room. There's about 5 or 6 people, and they've clearly just survived it, and they're just hiding in this room. And
Well, they're just loafing, aren't they? Some of them are just casually sat there doing.
One guy sort of like looks a bit John Horn watching static on the TV. One guy's in the fetal position crying. Another guy's literally got his legs up. It's like, wow.
Well, one of
There's
them,
that.
look, the one that was in the fetal position had been hit on the head with a bookshelf.
Yeah.
There was no interaction there. They were just set pieces.
They were like dumb game objects. There was no...
A lot of the enemies, a lot of the characters in the game seemed like that.
There was no interaction. You couldn't talk to any of them.
Mm-hmm.
If you're a reporter, the first thing you're going to do is say, dude, what happened?
Yeah, well, you're going to try to.
What's going on? Yeah, but there's no of that. I mean, even if they just give you some bark like, oh, it's terrible, so I can't believe this is happening, someone get me out of here.
They don't even acknowledge that you're there in a lot of cases.
No, unless it's set up. Game relies too much on jump scares as well.
Yes.
Heavily on jump scares, and that's to its detriment. And
Well, the trouble is you could see him coming from a mile off.
yeah, yeah,
Which was sad.
yeah. It had some. It's a good example of new ideas. I noticed the place didn't feel like a real place.
No, it didn't. That's what I meant earlier when I said that a load of stuff just felt like they'd grabbed, they Control CV'd a lot of stuff from, like, say, the Unity, pre-made room box and just dragged them in. When we got to the sewers, I was like, what?
How does this make sense?
Yeah, how did we get here? How did this even become a thing?
I mean, you can get away with it if, again, this is why I like Soma. Soma, they sat down, they designed the underwater base you on logically.
Yes.
Everything has a place, and the base you go have a logical layout to them.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes your progression is halted by damaged doors, blocked doors, and so forth, or other reasons. But the buildings are they're laid out logically. They have, they everywhere you go has got some, because basically it's split over several bases, it's all separate bases, and they're joined together with a train system.
Yeah.
But each base is like a small crew area because people lived in those bits and they live there, and there's a lot of environmental storytelling in Soma.
Yeah.
You can go and find people's offices, and you can just look at the offices and learn about how they're like. But you'll go to someone's office, it's really neat and tidy, and you'll go to someone else's, it's just a mess.
Mm-hmm.
You learn so much about these people from their offices and so forth. Whereas Outlast is the exact opposite. There is environmental storytelling is, oh, look, a dead body. That's,
And some of those are in such random places. Like, oh, look, hey, there's a corpse on a shelf.
Yeah.
Nowhere near anything else. Just a random corpse on a shelf.
Yeah. It just...
And even the storage room where you found that corpse, was like, why is that there?
Doesn't make sense.
It's just there.
Yeah. It felt very sort of thrown together.
Or some of the rooms that you were going through that were, like, pitch dark. Some of the obstacles that were in the way, like, why is that even there? And why is this room partially filled with water?
Yeah.
Like, why is this even a thing? How does this even work? Like, you're a couple floors fucking up.
Yeah.
That would drain off somewhere, surely.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like a place. I mean, I think there's something to games where you actually make a place feel like a place. I mean, first Resident Evil, the mansion, felt like an actual place. It was laid out logically, and yes, you have progression gateways, but it felt like somewhere. And this doesn't feel like somewhere. That's one of it. And that when you do that, you sort of ruin the immersion. I mean, I'm being a bit unfair here because there are other games I do sing the praise of which do the same thing. Amnesia Machine for Peace, one of my favourite games of all time. That does the exact same thing. It doesn't make any sense the way it's laid out.
Yeah.
But the
story
delivers, keeps me going.
Yeah, it delivers elsewhere, but Outlast doesn't.
No.
It got a hell of a lot of praise back in the day. I do remember everyone were like, oh yeah, Outlast is fucking great. I think I first saw a lot of people talking about it on PlayStation 4.
What I want to know is actually how many, when it came out, because PC we had quite a few of these sort of survival stealth horrors. You had all the Amnesia series have been out.
Because you had was it Penumbra as well?
Penumbra, which was before it.
Yeah.
So and this obviously came out as well, and then you also had obviously later on you had Soma and Alien Isolation also come out.
It was about the same time that like the Slender Man games and that came out as well. There was like a spate of
yeah, there's quite a few Slender Man games,
jump scare horror games on PC.
Slender Man caused a lot of games to be made because there was no
like
official...
Five Nights and stuff like that.
Yeah, a lot of these games suddenly appeared, I don't think they were that. I don't, from what I recall, there weren't many of them had made the transfer to console.
No.
So I think perhaps the reason Outlaws was so praised that there wasn't really much like it. Mm-hmm. So when there's not much like it, and that's your only example, you think it's great, and then you think perhaps when someone sends a proper example, of course you go, my God.
So you're saying like, oh, console plebs, they'd never really seen.
Yeah, if you've never seen an example of it, it's like if you watch a semi-decent. So you show someone a semi-decent anime, for example. It's not the best, but it's not the worst. That's the only one they've seen. They'll probably think that's really good.
Yeah.
Then when you show them a really good one, they'll go, my God. But
they explode.
Yeah, because they've not got the other experience something to compare it to. So, yeah, I wouldn't play. I'd play it. I want to finish it, but I have no intention of playing it again.
The problem I have as well, though, is, if we're not going to play it again, there's got to be a shite ton of lore that we've missed.
Oh, yeah.
And the fact that there are 2 other titles that make up the lore, one of them being a prequel, which I imagine is going to... My God, the lore in that game is going to be insane.
Yeah. Although, I understand the sequel, I don't think it has anything much to do with the first one.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's the sequel, but that's not the prequel, though, is it? And...
No, I mean, Outlast 2, I don't think it's got much to do with Outlast 1.
Sure.
I don't believe.
Well, bollocks to Outlast 2, then. But, I mean, like I said, is it just one? Yeah, there's just one extra game. There's 3 games in the Outlast series.
Outlast had a DLC.
Yeah, which is the prequel setup.
Yeah, which it's actually prequel and technically a sequel because it sort of takes place just before and like right at the end of it.
Oh, does it? I don't know.
Yeah, because I just like looked it all up.
Okay, sure.
So I'm not going to play the DLC. That ain't happening. And then the Outlast stuff is completely unrelated.
So I mean, the way they describe some of the characters, I had a look on like an Outlast wiki. The way they describe some of the characters, like, there's no way any of these things would be written down in random documentation about the patients. So this must come as part of like a mini scene in the prequel. That's but fuck me, it's going to take forever to get all this information.
Either that, or it's scrolled away somewhere. That's the other thing problem about Outlast. It doesn't give you any breathers.
Oh.
So
describe what you mean there.
So Soma, there are certain sections you'll get to where, although it doesn't say shout about it, you know you're safe. Mm-hmm. So when you're in these areas, and it does a good job of sort of making it think perhaps you won't be safe for very long, but it doesn't surprise you that much. And until you hit an actual event, you won't get surprised. Mm-hmm. So bits where you know, okay, all the doors are shut, nothing else is here, I'm safe. And you can take your leisure and explore. And they're usually big plot developments there. They give you these little breathing spaces where you can, in-game, relax.
Yeah.
And I think that's important, actually, to have a horror game, is you have to have those moments of... Think of a horror film. Horror films aren't usually consistently... There's usually...
Oh my God.
There's usually a breathing space for the characters to sort of reflect on what's happened and discuss things and side things and play action. And
they have a chance to process and prepare and... But that didn't seem to be a thing in Outlast at all.
There was one bit where you get captured and you're in that little prison block for about 10 minutes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But
isn't that where the two guys are threatening you from behind the fence anyway? Or behind
they're not as much threatening, they're just talking about how they're going to kill you. Yeah. But they don't care that you're there. They're not talking to you, they're just talking about you. Which is a bit... That's fine. You know, they're mad idiot. They're mad psychopaths. That's okay. Yeah, it's sort of how they're going to sort of... chase you down and kill you slowly and eat your liver and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, it just hasn't got enough of those moments in it to give you sort of like and that to learn the plot. And so
like you had no idea who half the they were just random inmates.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are you? But apparently those are supposed to be 2 reasonably important
they're called
characters.
the twins, aren't they? They're actually
And it's like no information there. Thanks, guys. I mean, that might have been on a piece of paper randomly in one of the offices or something like that was located somewhere it probably shouldn't have been, but...
Yeah. And again, the documents and stuff, they're not obvious where you find. They are very randomly dumped places.
Well, yeah, like I said about the storage room with the random corpse in it.
Yeah.
There was paperwork in there, like, what the fuck is this doing in here?
It is like, okay, right, we've got these documents we need to get people to read. Where should I'll just that level you need to have these documents put somewhere.
Like, imagine
why would the folder with this patient records be in the sewer?
Yeah, you're like, oh, fucking, we need to figure out where we can put all these kind of discoverable objects. And then, the intern comes in and he's got his mouse and he's got, he's like, let's say he's got his mouse and he's just kind of scrolling around the map and it kind of, the pointer sticks to random objects and he just goes, oh, yeah, click, 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 click. And that's it. That was the logic behind it. It didn't seem like anyone actually gave it some fucking thought. Like, hey, look, there's one in the toilet. Or, hey, look, here's one in a filing cabinet. Okay, that one makes sense. And it's like,
or
hey,
a desk.
Yeah, I was like, hey, Fred, can you come in and finish this off for us? I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Click, 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 click. I was like, they're dumb. They're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
They're not even on people. Even some of the people that have, because the game has kind of like a key card system at points where you have to have a security pass to get through certain doors or whatever.
Like the showers.
And you think to yourself, why the fuck is this guy here? Why is this area of all places locked down? It makes no goddamn sense.
It's gatekeeping for gatekeeping's sake, not for logically story progression.
The guy's
sake.
15 feet away from the door and he's just there, dead.
Yeah.
Like,
You need a key card. Where's the key card? Just around the corner.
and you're like, why did you do that to me?
Yeah, and there's a sprinkler system you need to activate. Okay, you need to turn 2 valves.
Yeah,
Why?
what the
sprinkler
fuck?
system you have to turn valves in 2 places far away from each other to make it work? Who designed that?
Good job, game. Good job.
Yeah, it's just a lack of thought went into
Yeah.
it. I think
It was basically stonewalling you for the sake of it, or kind of derailing progression for the sake of it,
Yeah.
to make the game feel longer, to make it feel more interactive. But it just didn't make any fucking sense.
I mean, that bit's fine. You've got to activate the sprinkler system. Okay, but don't put the 2 separate valves. Put the sprinkler system further away, so you have to find it and activate, like it's been deactivated because of whatever.
Yeah.
Don't you have to try and find other valves to make it work. That doesn't make sense because
So find me one sprinkler system that's. Aren't they all pressurised by? I mean, they're ready to go right off the bat.
They are. Yeah.
Why would that one not be?
There are such things as dry sprinklers, but generally most sprinklers are, as you say, pressurised at all time. They're passive systems.
Yeah, ready
They're
to go.
constantly pressurised. I think ours at work is pressurised to 7 bar, which is 7 atmospheres, which is like it's about 105 psi. So that's ready to go. If it goes, there's a lot of pressure coming out very quickly. So it's a bit of a.
Not in that insane asylum.
To be fairness, anyone who works in TV doesn't realise that either. They seem to think sprinklers are magic, and as soon as there's a fire, they instantly come on. They don't. They come on when they get hot.
Yep.
And they break.
That takes a while.
And the other thing they always get wrong is all the water is always clear in them. If you see the walls, they get drained out. They're black and gunky. It's horrible.
Yeah.
So
It's just been sat.
But to be fair, everybody in every TV series and every film does the exact same mistake. So, in fairness,
You will be forgiven.
You'll be
But
forgiven.
not for much longer now that Ram has mentioned it.
No. So, I
I really like the lore. I like the background of the characters, but fucking hell, the delivery in the game is trash.
Well-
If they made an Outlast book, I would read it.
Yeah, when I'm playing the game, it's like this is so cliche. This is so. Of course it does this. Of course it's just so. It's just so shit. Basically, when you read through it, then actually when I went back and actually read for Adfat, this storyline's actually quite interesting. But
The delivery's crap.
yeah, they don't show it off enough.
I'd like to also. The delivery of the lore is so. It looks shite. Like, I mean, it might as well have been. It was written in crayon on a piece. There was no. Like, for example, if you're reading a document, it looked like it was written with some random ass font. On. It didn't fit. It didn't look like it really fit.
With random stuff like, patient ID, blah, 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 score of this is 7, and his impact ratio
Like
is 7.9.
random words, the fonts didn't look like that. I mean, there was no way any of this stuff looked like an official document. It would have taken you 15 minutes to come up with a decent draft of a proper document or a template you could use. The font doesn't even look. I mean, it literally looks like some fucking 10-year-old is going, oh man, fucking, I'm gonna make a horror game, and
It does. The storyline from before I read it, what I was seeing was something that I thought I would have come up when I was 13. as a horror game, and when you say anything you come up with is generally cliche to hell.
Postal. When you read things in Postal, I mean, it literally looks like the documents you read or things that come up on screen. They don't look like something that was made in the game, kind of thing. It was like something was made in MS Paint and then stuck in it.
Yeah.
That's what the stuff in Outlast looks like. It doesn't look like it's part of the world. It is so poorly constructed and disfigured that it almost breaks immersion. It doesn't look like a piece of paper that was printed out from a computer. It's like half of it looks like it came from a typewriter, half of it looks like it came from it was toilet paper or whatever. It just doesn't. None of it really meshes together. But then it's the same with the construction of the building. It just doesn't quite mesh.
I expected more from, because when I first thought this is an indie game, as in like people who feel if they set themselves up, they're not what they're doing. It's their first go at it. Yeah. When I found out it's actually Ubisoft devs, I thought, come on guys, you guys should know better than this.
Unless they're the guys from the mailroom.
They've kind of been, I don't know what they were doing game design, if they were actually game design backgrounds where they're like programmers and artists.
Well, even when we criticised the writing of it, and it turns out the guy that wrote it was part of like the Splinter Cell dev team and stuff like that. Like, whoa, you've worked on some pretty big stuff. This is shit. What the hell? Like, someone like, I'll give you $10. You're at a bar and someone's like, I'll give you $10 to write the story on the back of this fucking beer mat.
But it might be he wrote the story, and then it was up to the devs to put the fluff in to make the story come through. Because I see the storyline's fine.
Yeah,
it's the fluff. It's the way it's the fluff. It's where it's got across. So yeah, Outlast. We weren't fans.
No, but we are going to finish it. Yeah,
I think we should finish it.
Yeah, we should finish it.
I want to finish it because I'm halfway through. And
it's weird because I don't know if because we bought the bundle on Switch, and my god, I'm glad we got it on sale. I don't know if the bundle we bought included the prequel, because I think we should maybe have a look at the prequel at some point.
I think it's on the front page because there was it said about play the game, play Whistleblower, which is the DLC.
All right, well, I would grab the Switch, but if I do, I'd switch the HDMI switcher to take away the stream. But
yeah, so let's not touch anything.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't touch anything electronic. We've got it all working. Don't touch anything electronic.
All right.
Cool. So, have you been playing anything else, guys?
No.
Okay, yeah.
Dick all, mate.
Cool. Well, I've played another game. I actually played two games, one which I rejected quite early on. I couldn't get on with it.
Can I get a hint on the rejection? What was...
It's a point-and-click game called Bear With Me.
Right.
And it came out... I got it via Humble Bundle.
Yeah.
It was... it's got... I think it's got 100% positive ratings on Steam, which is a bit weird.
But you binned it.
Yes, because it's only had 57 reviews, to be fair. So I picked it up. I thought, okay, I'll give it.
I was a tad worried then.
It's a little bit. It's interesting. It's like, it's sort of this sort of film noir, and it's like sort of your main character is like a teddy bear. It's a bit. I like slightly weird indie games. I like those sort of things. I like something a bit different.
Yeah,
that's what I like. I like games that are a bit strange, a bit different, so forth. So I picked it up, and I thought, okay, and it's a point-and-click game. And you start off as this...
What style?
Wow. Old school style.
Like super old school, like talk, look, scratch your ass. Yeah. With the little box that takes up the bottom.
You click on an object, and then you'll get... when you click on it, you'll get a series of options appear of what you want to do.
Oh, okay.
And it's usually look or interact.
Because once upon a time, it used to be a full-blown box at the bottom. You'd have to click at the box at the bottom then click the...
Not quite that bad.
Okay.
But yes, you're basically a 10-year-old girl whose brother, you get fooled by a giraffe called Millie. She's a giraffe, but she's like human-sized. She's not a full-size giraffe. And she informs you that your brother has disappeared and things have been going on in Paper City. Right? It's weird. And... you best get Mr. Bear to help you out. Mr. Bear, first name Ted, middle name E.
Good job.
Brilliant.
Yep.
Well, I think quite intrigued what the idea. I think what the idea is meant to be.
This kid is stoned as fuck.
Well, no, I think it's just her. She's only 10 years old. This is her imagination. So Mr. Bear is her teddy bear, who she's.
Have these people been 10 years old? Or were they just locked in a
I
cell
thought,
up
I
until...
thought, I thought 10 years old. I think at 10 years old they wouldn't be doing that sort of imagination. 8 years maybe.
Yeah,
7, 8.
yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, and I thought perhaps actually all the things you interact with, it's just because it seems like you're. I actually got the feeling. I thought it was going to be quite actually a clever idea. You know, her world is her house, so the idea of going to the city is actually just going downstairs. I thought that's what he was leading up to, and I thought actually that's not a neat. That's a neat premise. You know, it's just this girl and it's all her imagination. But again, like Outlast, is the execution. So it's point and click, and still things like every room you're in has got like a bazillion things to click on, most of which don't actually do anything.
Okay.
So you'll click on it. Oh, it's a lamp. It's a big lamp that does this, and she's got like 2 or 3 lines of dialogue for everything. That sounds like a neat idea, but actually gets fucking frustrating.
I was going to say, that's long-winded.
It's very frustrating after a while because like, oh, just don't, just. Literally, all I want you to say is it's a lamp.
Yeah.
Don't even voice it. Just say it's a lamp. Only voice the important things, or better yet, don't have them on there. You know, don't just have what you need.
They've got clickable objects for the sake of having clickable objects.
And so the first room, okay, in a bedroom, that's what you've got her bed. You've got I think there's a chest of drawers. On the chest of drawers, there's books. There's a lamp. There's a light on the wall. There's some boxes. There's another set of boxes. There's a chest. There's glasses. There's a door. There's the giraffe.
Too
there's
many.
A rug. Yeah. There's a wardrobe. So many things.
I'm trying to think of the number of things in the first room in the Discworld.
You have
Point
the
and click.
door.
The door, luggage, the wardrobe, the dragon, and Rincewind's diploma, I think. And maybe Rincewind. Like 6.
Yeah, way too many things. But every room is like this. So interface-wise, so fairly early on, what you have to do is basically, long story. So I'll give you an idea of one of the very early puzzles, and this is why another issue of it.
Okay.
So you go into see. She says, "Oh, you need to go Teddy Bell. He's got an office. He's got an office in my wardrobe." Which again sort of fills into the idea. It's just her imagination, you know. Teddy
That's
Bear.
fine.
Yeah, that's not. I said that's quite a neat concept. That's what it was going for. So I open up the wardrobe. I have no idea if that's what Ed's going for because I only played about half an hour of the game because I got fed up with it. Although I say it would only been 10 minutes if I could actually get on with what I wanted to do. But
Right.
so I open up the wardrobe and there he is, and then it cuts into this like Noir cutscene where it's like, oh yeah, the board's back again. She's done, you know, the usual. Oh, maybe it's the drink. I was actually thinking when I watched this, I think, actual fact, I've only ever seen parodies of noir films. I've never seen a noir film. I've only ever seen the parodies of it on the various TVs. It's so parodied. I can't actually. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a film actually like that. To the point where I think if I actually saw a serious one, I think it was weird.
You'd probably explode.
Yeah, I've honestly, it's what it feels like because I've only ever seen like the parodies in Star Trek and every other series under the sun where they parodied it.
Yeah.
So yeah, even Red Dwarf has parodied it. So, long story short, you get there and he's, oh, I need my magnifying glass, I'm not going anywhere. So, in her room, you have found his broken magnifying glass. You have found some glue. You have found her mother's glasses. You can't just easily combine, oh no. You have to go into her inventory. For some reason, she has a multi-tool with a knife on it. Okay, she's got a Swiss Army knife, right? This 10-year-old's got a Swiss Army knife.
Okay.
You have to undo the spectacles to remove the glass lens.
Okay.
You then have to put the glue on the magnifying glass and then the glass lens in the magnifying glass. But it's all done through. It's just such a long-winded process. It's like, really, this feels so old. This feels so old. And if you play an old game, that's fine.
Yeah.
You sort of forgive it because this one just feels like, why have you done this? So you get to eventually get out of the room, and then the next interface issue I had, I go into a study.
Yeah.
And you're in the study. If you can't have NPCs, the dialogue goes on for way too long. Oh, right early on, another frustration I had with it. You go to an NPC, she explains everything that's gone on, all the details of what's happened and so forth and gone on. You then go to find Mr. Bear. Your character then explains it all to him again. Pretty much word for word. It's like, really? I know what's going on. You don't have to explain it all to me again.
Okay.
Just put a line in saying, I don't want... Just put a line in going, look, I don't want to hear it. Let's just get on with it. Or something like that. Don't make... She has to explain the whole lot again. It's like, why are you doing this? 5 minutes after you've already told me it, I've now got to basically tell it all again. Do you think I'm that stupid I've forgotten it?
Yes.
Apparently so. Eventually get out of the room, get into the study. So the study, same issue. And this is the next problem, the humour in it. The humour is trying too hard. It's trying to be funny for funny's sake. Everything you click on, they think they have to try and have a funny line for it. And it just...
It's a cup.
Yeah, but they try and think of something funny to say about it. Not everything has to be a funny line, and actually, after a while, it just feels forced. And they start breaking the fourth wall a lot quite early on. Again, do that, but let me get to know the characters a bit first, and then break the fourth wall. So, like, you click on a lamp in the study, and she goes, "It's just like the one in my room." And the bear goes, "It's exactly like the one in your room, because it's the same asset, and the developers are lazy." I was like, okay.
Yeah, give that some time. Make that kind of thing a little Easter egg, don't...
Yeah, let me get to know the characters a bit more. And then in the same room, you click on a lamp, and it plays this audio file.
And you said you're only like you weren't that long.
Barely half an hour, maybe an hour into. I might have played it for because
That's no hell of a lot for a point and click.
no. Well, I click on the lamp, and this audio clip plays, and it's meant to be a funny audio clip of the developer who's being forced to make the game. And while he's doing it, someone comes along and saw, "Oh no!" That he shouts, "Oh no, they're coming!" And you hear him like getting shot and then being dragged off, and they're all getting quiet. And it's like you're trying to be funny, too funny. Then literally about 5 minutes after that, the Ted, he says something like, he reads out I forgot the name, stage direction.
Okay.
He says like this, and he goes, Ted and Amber go over here and walk away out of earshot of the character.
You're not supposed to read that.
And she goes, "You're not supposed to read that." And he goes, "Oh, sorry." And then you hear someone off screen shout, "Oh, well, just leave it in, keep going."
Yeah, no.
It's just too much, too soon. It's just too constant. It's like, and it actually detracts from it. It's like you're not letting the jokes. You're not letting the jokes like mellow.
Yeah.
So that annoyed the hell out of me, and that's basically when I quit. Actually, to be honest, I just got fed up of it. I just thought, oh fuck this. Interface was terrible. I wanted to get out of the room. Okay, that's all I want to do is get out of a room. So the room's there, study's there, all there in front of me. Okay, I want to get out. There's no doorway, so I can't click on the door to leave. So I start screen hunting, trying to find out how I get out of this room.
Yeah, you start doing that right at the start of the game. Not good.
Just all they do is put the camera at different angles so that you can see the doorway out, which is what they mostly do in point and clicks. So you can see the doorway out, so you know where to click. The doorway is there, but what they've done was, if you put your mouse on the bottom of the screen, where the doorway is in relation to the room, you get like a back arrow to get out.
Yeah.
But if the room is filling the whole screen, perhaps a tenth of that is the doorway.
Right.
But if your mouse is too far low, you'll miss it.
Yeah, I think there was some things in Broken Sword that might have done that as well, but they weren't quite. I mean, it would literally say like this entire bottom corner will allow you to exit the area or whatever. Same with Discworld, like you'd highlight that rough area and it would say go.
That's what all you need to do is the bottom of the screen gets you out. Do you really care where the door is? No, you want to get out of the room. But and I was in that room probably 5 minutes.
Like you should say, probably there's an entire section, like a third of the bottom of the screen in the middle. It's like, do you want to leave the room?
Yeah, and I was in that room for a long time. I was stuck because I was like thinking, well, how do I get out? And I was running my mouse on the bottom of the screen too far down, so I just got the X saying you can't do anything.
Yeah,
and it's just by sheer luck I moved it a little bit higher and caught the blank, and it's just a blank bit on the floor. There's nothing to indicate it. It's just the floor, and it's like this spot here is now a hot spot. You can do it. Adventure games, the whole point of adventure games is the story.
Yeah.
And the story, I think, if it wasn't so joke heavy, has got something interesting to it.
It's the next step up from interactive fiction.
Yeah.
Text adventures or whatever.
Exactly. Don't make the interface hard, and they've made the interface too hard. And it's like, oh, really? I mean, I'm getting what I need to do. I'm working out what I need to do. But I was like, really? Come on. You don't need to make it this complicated. Look, the reason that everybody abandoned these styles of interfaces did it for a reason. They did it because it was shit. Yeah. And they moved on, and they're not. I was like, really? Come on, guys. You can do better than this.
Well, we did have a run of retro-style point-and-clicks come out a while back, didn't we?
Yeah. But I think the ones that, like the remakes, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's fine.
Or there was like a remake, and everyone was like, oh, hey, that's so well.
Remakes are fine. I forgive that because I think if you're buying the remake, you kind of want it to be in the same style how it was because that's the feeling you're going for. But when you make a brand new game, don't go back. There's no advantage to this.
No.
There's no benefits to doing it this way. So yeah, I looked at it after this. I thought, why has this got such good reviews? So I went and looked. Basically, what people were saying was, yeah, the first episode, because it's 3 episodes. First episode is pretty rough.
Right.
Second episode, it starts finding its feet. Third episode's amazing. It's like, this game's 10 hours long. So, really, I'm not going to get to that third episode another 6 or 7 hours. I can't be asked.
No, it's not worth it.
I just can't be asked to wait that long to get there.
If a game doesn't grab you within the first hour, bin it.
Yeah.
Generally.
More and more, I'm now finding out with games that unless... I'll probably give the game a couple hours to catch my attention. If it's got to be all these semi-capturing, and this just did nothing to capture it.
Yeah.
I thought the concept was a neat idea. If it was what I was thinking, I thought that's quite a neat idea, but
it's not worth it.
It's not worth it. No. So yeah, I've been there. Anyway.
So what did you play instead?
I played a game called Inside.
Okay.
So again, it's a little weird indie game, and it is fucking weird. But this Inside, is really good.
Okay.
To me, it's a side-scrolling platformer with a puzzle elements.
Because that's not often you play side-scrolling platformers, right?
Yeah, it's 3D. It's 3D. It's done with there's a lot of parallax. And there's a lot of characters interacting from the back. So you'll see along, and you'll see a jeep in the background come and sort of walk up. And if you go past it, and there's lights in the wrong place, someone will jump out of it and actually run to the full screen to capture you.
Okay.
So it's got a lot of neat stuff like that. It looks beautiful. They've got this. The art style feels grayscale, but they have got colour. There are bits with colour in it, like the switches and so forth, which make them stand out. So it's really, and they also make a really great use of lighting. The lighting is absolutely amazing. The effects of it, and it's just so well done. It feels that someone spent a lot of time crafting every step of it. You can feel the love in it. You can feel someone sat down and actually thought about every step. What's really good is, and in fact, this is a good example of environmental story thing. It tells a story, there's not a line of dialogue in it.
Oh.
So you're playing this little child, literally the game starts, and you are just in a forest, and you're running. And you just run. And while you're running, first of all, you come across like some people, there's like a lorry that seems to have lots of people about, and it closes the back and it drives off. You'll come across patrols that seem to be looking for you. And if they see you, they try and run you down and capture you or shoot you with a tranquilizer dart.
Okay.
And there's no explanation at all for why they're doing this. That's just really what they're doing.
It's just a thing.
It's just a thing, but it's all weird because they look bloody creepy because they're like wearing masks and stuff. So they've got no facial features and even using their facial features. They've got these dogs that will come and it's quite vicious. Dogs will come and they'll actually pin you down, and rip your throat out.
Oh, neat!
So it's quite vicious, yeah. But it looks absolutely stunning, and as there's no explanation given. But pretty early on, you start realising some weird shit's going on. So you'll come across, like, early on you'll come across a pig farm and everything's dead. Just dead pigs everywhere.
Okay.
Apart from one, which is like your first boss battle. Yeah, it's very weird. You end up being chased by this pig and then you end up pulling a worm out of its arse. Don't ask.
All right.
Yeah, it's all, and there's literally, I think there is 6 buttons in it. Left, right, up, down, jump, and grab.
All right.
That's it, and that saves you every interaction in the whole game. And so you have to sort. And most puzzles aren't complicated. They're one of those things that you'll do it wrong, and then as soon as you've done it wrong, you go, "Oh, I see what I've got to
that's
do."
what I was supposed to do.
And so yeah, you won't get stuck. But as you walk along, it's sort of, you don't know where it. There's no explanation of where it's set. It looks like set sort of some sort of dystopian future, where it appears to be like sort of people being turned to sort of zombies, as it were.
Okay.
But they're not actual zombies, but it's not clear. And all I'll say is, right towards the end, it gets fucking weird. Right towards the end, it gets absolutely bizarre. I won't spoil it because I don't want to spoil it for people, but I can't really say much more about it because it is but it's a really neat game.
It's one you really need to play then.
You do need to play it. It's only about, I did it in 3 hours.
Okay.
From start to finish.
Cost?
There is a, oh god, I can't remember. I've had it for, I found I picked up in a sale a long time ago. I honestly can't remember how much it cost. I'll look it up now. I've got my laptop up. We'll look it up now. Inside. Let's have a look. 2016. Oh, it's got 10 out of 10 on Steam. 97% positive. 15 quid. Probably a bit much if I'm honest. 3 hours.
Wait for a sale.
Wait for a sale. I would say it's worth it in a sale. Definitely worth it. I said the art style. It's just so. Every step of it. It flows nicely. There's no distinct levels per se. Everything flows so neatly together. I mean, it's quite a weird game. It's so open to interpretation. Because afterwards, I went and looked online. I usually go and looking online and sort of reading a bit background and so forth, and read what people think. And there's so much different interpretation of what the ending means, and what you're counting throughout the game and so forth. But it's neat because my interpretation of what happens doesn't match what somebody else's, but they're both valid.
Yeah.
They both make sense. And the mechanics it builds on, as you sort of game mechanics build on logic, also build on nicely as you gain abilities and so forth. And yeah, the animations in it are amazing. Someone spent so much time in detail on the animations. So you'll climb up a ladder and go to a hatch, and he'll actually go open the hatch up, climb it, and he'll do it and slam it in such a way that looks so fluid and nice. And little things like if somebody's chasing, he'll slam it down really hard to make sure they can't follow him.
So you're saying for a few hours, $15 is kind of expensive, but by the same token, I mean it's crafted well enough to maybe be worth $15.
I think what my sort of with games at prices, I sort of think about replayability.
Okay.
I've played it once. I will not really ever want to play it again.
Okay.
Because.
To me, it doesn't sound too bad. I've played probably a lot worse, a lot shorter.
Perhaps because I'm used to, I tend to always wait for sales and stuff. Usually.
Okay.
And I don't mind short games if they've got replayability. Then I'm happy to spend more money on them. But when I was like, okay, I've played it, I've experienced it. It's like if I bought a DVD and watched it. If I bought a DVD 15 quid and watched the film once and never plan to watch it again, I would feel like perhaps I'm just a cheapskate, and I would feel like it was money well spent.
Right.
I'm just a cheapskate, obviously, is my other option. But no, it's really beautiful. So yeah, definitely pick up at a sale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely. So yeah, I can't recommend. But yeah, line direction is good. As the animation's amazing. At the end, right towards the end of the game, again, I can't spoil it, but you'll see if you get to the end, you'll see what I mean by the animation is so clever. But just little things like the way everything about it, and it's so fluid. You can't see where the animation jumps from one to the other. It's amazing. The lighting makes me think of. Do you remember Thomas Was Alone?
Yes.
The amazing lighting in that game.
Yeah, I did like.
It's a similar sort of thing. The lighting is that sort of atmospheric. It really drives the point home. So yeah, but yeah, I recommend Inside.
Cool.
So I can't say because it's only a 3-hour game. If I tell you much more, I'll spoil the whole game for you.
And that would be bad.
That would be very bad. So, but yeah, Inside. If you like sort of, again, it's a non-combat game. You know, it's just a side-scrolling puzzle game with an interesting story. But it's not a single bit of dialogue in it. Amazing.
That sounds neat.
It is very neat. I'll show you the trailer later.
Cool.
So, that's it for games we've been playing for me. Yeah. And you also haven't played anything.
Nope.
Moving on to film. Anything else before we move on to film?
No, I'm covered, mate.
Oh, cool. Film. I watched a film this week. Still this week. Yeah, I watched it last Sunday. So
Is it another one of your crazy foreign films on Netflix?
No. Well, it's foreign. It's Australian.
All right.
That means it's in English. So it's all right.
Okay.
I watched a film called I Am Mother. And the reason I watched it, actually, I would never have probably even known about it.
Were you drunk?
No. It's because I watched it on someone did a YouTube about CGI, and they were reviewing the CGI and comparing what was practical effects, what was CGI in the film.
Okay.
And they said the CGI was so impressive you can't actually tell what it is. It's done on a very low budget, but there's literally 3 actors in the whole film.
Okay.
And all the film, and they literally had 2 sets of sets. One like this in space, one like outside on a beach, and that was all the sets they had.
Sure.
So it's done a very low budget. The rest was on the CGI. You cannot tell where it was practical effects and where it was CGI effects. And there was, to give you an idea of how low their budget was, the main character's sort of suit, they only had 1. They usually have like 4 or 5.
Yeah.
They only had 1. So if it got damaged, they had to repair it and make it look right. So I'm Mother, it's set. You always know is that it's at the start of the film. It basically says you're in this underground base and you can just hear these explosions above. It's all dark. And it just says the extinction event has happened.
Okay.
And this base is beginning its protocol. And this base rolls this robot starting up, which goes and basically, one day after the extinction event, it goes and takes its human fetus and basically gestates it.
Okay.
And what you then get is a little montage of it basically raising this baby. So it's basically a robot, it's literally raising it from birth up. That moment's called Mother. And eventually you join up with sort of to this teenager, as sort of just time skips ahead, and I think she's maybe 16, and she's basically grown up with Mother. She lived in space her entire life, and she is now basically sort of starting to get to the point where she's starting to sort of come of age, as it were. And has no feeling what she thinks the outside world is nothing there going on, until one night when Mother's recharging. And the robot's not as well. So it's very sort of personal, nice voice and so forth. It's very, it's the robot's her teacher, it's her carer, and it's probably designed to be like her mother, or like, it'll cook it, cooks her food. And it's like, do you like that? Do you want me to cook you something else? Or it's very mothery, the Mother robot. But Mother
it's more human than it is designed to do a job.
Yeah, it's a very humanoid robot. Yes,
right.
It is. It's fully. It's got the same emotions and so forth. And it basically says that the story it says is that there's a contagion outside that wiped out humanity, and this was basically a survival shelter. The idea was they're going to regrow society in these shelters and then back out into the world. Shortly one night, nearly at her birthday, there's a power cut. She starts looking around the base, the girl, and she finds a mouse or rat and catches it.
Right.
And she thinks to herself, well, hang on a second.
How's that out? Where has that come from? If it's outside and everything's been wrecked, then what the hell's going on?
Yeah. So she shows it to her mother, and her mother takes off her and says, this is dangerous, this could be contaminated, you could kill yourself with this because it's dangerous, and throws an incinerator.
Right.
Incinerates it. Well, she's not happy with it. She thinks something else is going on, so she decides one night sort of make her way down because Mother quarantines off the whole area, the airlock and everything. So one night she goes down, she decides to ignore her and go down to the airlock, and she opens up the inner airlock. She's going to go outside. She puts on the biohazard suit, starts to go outside, and as she starts getting towards air, she hears bang on the other side of it. Eventually, she opens it up, and there's another human there. And what follows, without telling the whole film, is this human basically sort of starts giving a different story about what's going on outside, and it's sort of like a power play between what Mother's telling her, what the human's telling her, who is right, who's lying, and are they both lying a bit and so forth? But is it for good reasons? Why? What did actually happen outside? It's very much a story about. It's about sort of the idea of AI. It's about sort of trust and faith and who do we believe and so forth. And it's a really neat, very old-fashioned actually start. It felt like I was watching something from the 70s because it's not big, massive budget, woo, shooty, bang, bang type thing. It's very low-key, simple, personal drama between these three characters, and what she finds out about women, the sort of stuff she finds as a person, their books, their info, like the bullet wound, what they've injured with. It's really, and I said what's impressive about it is the CGI. It's got the main robot. I know some of the scenes were CGI, but I can't tell the difference. And I said after watching a video where they talked about it, show you how they did it. It's pretty impressive how they did it. They actually, like the main guy who played, they actually made the robot slightly taller than him, so they could have the head sort of slightly hollow, so you could see through it. And even it's literally got like it can show. It's not got like a face to it. It's literally just like a single eye, but it's got these like two little lights that sort of move to show its mouth, and you can see its mouth move. It's really clever how much information they can get through it. Really, really good film. I was gripped for the whole sort. It's about 2 hours long. I was gripped for the whole sort of 2 hours. Really neat film. But I say it's such like it felt like an old school sci-fi film. I like the more old school sci-fi films. Yeah. In many ways, that sort of not slow but steady pacing. It's not sort of. There's no sort of yes, it's all like a big event at the end, but even that's quite low key. It's just telling you a good story.
Sure. All right.
But yeah, really neat film. As if you like sci-fi films, like sort of dystopian sci-fi films, my family watch it's a bit too grim for them. It's quite grim,
Right.
in many places. Quite so yeah, and the ending. The ending, I sort of caught the ending, but didn't quite. I was sort of right and wrong at the same time. But the ending, again, I don't want to reveal what I saw because it's film. It's only got released this year, but it's on Netflix. You've got Netflix, you can watch it on there. I would recommend people to check it out.
Cool. I'll have to have a look.
Yes, that's it for me.
Wow. That's it.
Yeah,
How long have we been live?
hour and 5 minutes.
God damn. If this was the last episode, we would have just been starting.
Yeah. Well, shit to talk about. I haven't been watching any random deadly machines on YouTube or watching it the cats. Oh, I did see an interesting video of a guy who was working in a machine. We know we got to talk about lifts last time.
Yeah.
I did watch a video of a guy who's working in a machine room lift. So they are lifts that the machine or the machinery is actually inside the lift shaft rather than a separate room.
All right.
Fucking terrifying.
Yeah, no.
It's literally like, well, there's a lift shaft, there's a lift, there's a cross.
Is there a door?
Well, you have to stay on top of the lift car to get to it.
Yeah, but I had to go through a door to get there first.
Oh,
right?
the lift car's got a door in it.
Yeah, no.
Honestly,
We already established
the guy's
this
just
now.
saying this. Oh, I'm just going to show you that it's the Australian
Just casually chilling out.
guy. He's an engineer, but he said, I'm just going to show you a video. This is a show of what a machine roomless lift looks like. He's showing this video of this lift machinery that he's in a 2-shaft lift. He's on repairing one side. The other side's still functioning and just running up and down next to him.
Nope.
And he's just stand there. And he's just watch filming this. It's like
Look at it go.
But it's like there's nothing. It's literally just they've literally got the shaft, put a steel girder on it, mounted the motor on it, and that's it.
Good job.
And I was like,
That'll be fine.
yeah, how is this safe?
It isn't. We're just not supposed to know about it.
Yeah, it's honestly,
Behind a door.
I was just watching. It's this. I don't know how big this room is. It must be a good 20 stories, something like that. Because at one point, and whenever they,
He looks down, drops his phone. You're like,
well, it is when they don't. It's when they sort of. I'm just going to show you down the shaft there. Have a look down the shaft there. I was like,
no, thank you. I don't want to go
I
there.
don't. Somehow it's weird though.
You
Well,
know
that's-
you can't get hurt, but it
well,
still
But
creeps you out a bit.
I'm worse at big drops on video. When they show a big drop on video, I feel it.
Yeah.
But then I'm happy. I'll climb a straw, stack right to the top.
Yeah.
And that's similar. That's another. If I fall off, that would probably kill me.
Yeah, for sure.
Touch up. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah.
But when they show this video, they sort of just look down, just film their shaft there, and let's show you how terrifying that looks. Like, no, dude, no, that's just fucking.
That's not a
ridiculous.
thing you should be doing.
No, that just looks insane. Who? I was trying to say, why did you actually think about the poor people got to repair these things?
No.
Because what I've never found an explanation for, right? So you've got the machine at the top. What if it breaks down and lifts at the bottom?
Well, well, I don't know.
That's basically
Get the fucking tech priest in there. That's all.
yeah, tech priest. I'm gonna start a change.org petition for that.
I want to call every mechanic and engineer a tech priest.
Yeah. Look, with the rise of fascism in the world, it's about time we start making our way to transitioning towards the Imperium. So let's get the Aptus Mechanicus started going, start worshipping the Messiah, and away we go.
Job done.
Cool.
Fucking tech priests.
Can't be a tech priest. Mad bastards.
No, it's not my thing. I've already told you, man, if it's behind a door, I ain't going.
Oh,
I'm terrified to even leave this room.
that's okay. They have servitors, which are basically either vat-grown humans who basically their higher brain switched off and basically replaced with computers. Because you see, the Imperium doesn't allow AI. They tried AI once, it didn't go well, so they ban it. So instead, they have servitors, which are basically people who have their brains wiped and then
So there you go.
programming
So it's like
built in.
you're not saying like, okay, Google or Alexa. It's random keys over there.
Yeah. Well, as someone put on Saturday, basically, think the Borg, except unlike the Borg, these people are just clones rather than people who've been indoctrinated, and they're actually quite friendly. And someone said, you mean the Star Trek's more grim than Warhammer 40,000? When did that happen?
Good job.
Yeah, so we just have some services.
Just imagine it. Tell your server to go and order you something off Amazon. That just like, the little geezer just walks over to your laptop and starts like tapping away.
Yeah, so they're not that. They can do simple tasks.
Hey, all I'm asking is for a bag of jelly beans. Just go over to my laptop, press jelly beans, hit buy.
They also, what you can also have servitor cherubs. So what they do is they grow babies and then turn them into servitors. They but because they're so small, they can put anti-gravity on you, so they can fly about and fly around you.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly what I want.
Yeah, and like the books where like they've got a speaker spin and they're just playing music as they fly around.
It's like, well, there it is.
It's like having a Google Alexa that follows you around the house.
It's like, oh look, there you go. Rather than having a whole home audio setup, you've got a little cherub.
A nice servo skull, which is basically the same thing but just a skull.
Yeah, I'll take that. That sounds more metal.
Servo skull, which can fly around. You can like someone's got one projector in it, so it like projects things on the screen for you. Like
I'm cool. I am cool with that.
Okay, so you have a servo skull.
I'll do me.
Yeah.
Tech priest servo skulls.
Yeah.
And fucking cherub baby sound systems.
Well, a friend of mine's an engineer. I might see if I can convince him to start changing his business card to tech priest. There you go. Don't we just go? Yeah,
I expect the result. I want to know the results by next podcast.
Yeah, I will do. I'll chat with him.
Good job.
He won't have no idea what because he knows nothing about Warhammer.
Well, then he's clearly not really an engineer, is he?
No, he should be. He's a tech priest. I want to ask him, have you watched the Homicide today?
He'll be like, what?
I have thought about getting some of the Homicide because you get these. You can buy offline the like blessing logos. I have thought about getting a couple and sticking them onto the tractor on the farm.
Oh dear.
Because I just thought the idea someday a mechanic's going to look and go, and some mechanic who knows Warhammer 4000 is going to sit and go, I know what you did there.
I know what you did there. I'd rather you put a do not enter on every door that you find.
Yeah, just every door.
Yeah, every door. I don't care if oh look, it's the door to the toilet. Do not enter.
So if I put the one in this room, you're doomed. You'll never leave the room.
Mate, I don't want to leave this room.
So I put a sign.
What? I came in here. I know I was safe out there, but who knows? I might open that door in a minute and find loads of machines. Yeah, I'm like.
They've installed lift shaft where you've been in here.
How do you know it hasn't happened?
Well, I can't hear any machinery, but they're quite quiet now, aren't they?
There you go.
That's just DC motors.
You open that fucking door, that's soundproofed. You open that door, woof, we fall down the lift shaft, we're dead. Straight out. Death door. Don't open the door. If you want to die, open the door.
Doors of death.
Just fucking leave them alone. Featured next week on Fear Tractor.
Death doors. Well, anyway, I'll be the SuffolkRam.
Scazius.
Thank you for watching episode 126.
I might actually get this one sorted out by by the end of next year.
Come join us on our next podcast, which I don't know the date because I'm very bad, which will be on the 23rd of November.
Excellent.
So come join us on there, and we will see you then.
Marvellous. Good job.
Bye, everyone.
Where's the thing that turns the thing off? I've lost it. Everything worked.
That did very nice.